welcome yet again to another episode of Women in Business on Smart 24 TV. This is Doreen Kemcha. I'll be taking you through today. Special thanks go out to Kampala Serena Hotel for this amazing space. Always come to them for your good quality conferencing and all the accommodation and any other social activities that you have planned. Please come over and make your booking. It's a very nice place to be. Now, on this episode today, we have an amazing woman, Miss Lovin Kobsinje. She's the founder and CEO of Kati Farms Uganda. She's also the first female owner of a fish processing plant in Uganda. And in addition to other accolades, she has had partnerships with International Trade Center, African Women Entrepreneur Program, URI, NARO, and has recently been elected committee member of World Food Security at Rome. Welcome, Madam Kobsinje. Welcome to this episode.
Thank you so much.
Fish processing. How did you even start? This is an amazing journey that has taken 13 years because you started in 2013, right? Was it accidental? Or did you have a mentor behind you? Was it something that you passionately dived into? How did you even start this? Because it's huge.
It wasn't accidental. I have a background in fisheries. I used to work for fish farmers for 8 years. And while I was working for the farmers, I saw a lot of opportunities in the fish sector, especially in the fish farming sector. And they were unprocured opportunities that no one was taking advantage of. So I realized that there was a lot that we could do with fish, especially on the value addition component. I sold the fish. I did a lot of fish marketing programs, fish product development, and I realized that we can do products like fish sausages, like fish nuggets, and make them commercially traded globally. But I tried to sell the idea to some multinational companies here who were making sausages, and they rejected my ideas.
And you were very passionate in your selling.
Yes, I was like, these people have rejected my very beautiful idea, which I thought would sell beyond Kampala.
But
there is no way I can just leave it to die.
And is that really how you thought about it? These people have rejected my wonderful idea. You must have been
disappointed on why they could not see, their eyes were not seeing money. They were not seeing the value of value addition. And I actually said, I went to start the business with the intention to show them that it is possible. Because the reasons they had given me they were like flimsy excuses, like the fish has a lot of bones, the fish smells a lot, many customers may not like that sausage. So I was like, who says they will not like the sausage?
So you were literally you were breaking stereotypes.
I was breaking barriers. I went to some universities that I won't mention here, and they also told me the same. And I actually went to prove to people that it is possible. That is one of the factors that drove
you
to really say, let's do and see how possible it can be.
This stubbornness, this stubbornness does not come naturally. You just have to be an obstinate person. Yes, because I totally understand you. Because if you turn me down when I'm very passionate about something, I'll just be like, okay, fine, one door is closed, let me move on to the next.
Yes.
You know, but there are also others where the bigger the no, especially when it comes from someone who has been in that field for long, or you very well know this person has the money and the resources to actually help you, and they say a resounding no. There are some that break down and just ditch the idea. Why didn't you?
I did not ditch the idea because in my background, I have these fish farmers who were on my neck for market. So that market, every day in my office, it was a lot of, I even could get women who were dumping sacks of fish there because they wanted it sold. So it was a bother.
It was a burden.
It was a burden for me. I was like, how do I help these farmers? They need to trade, they need to sell. They have done their best to make sure that they grew this fish to this level. So I could not really just be in my comfort zone with that every day. We have fish to sell, we have fish to sell. Yes. Where is the next market? How much is the price today? So I actually, the fish farmers pushed me to look for better solutions on how to move. And actually, to give you, my dad was a farmer. I was born from a farmer's compound. My father had coffee and had tea estate. And I knew the frustration of a farmer. From my home, I saw how much coffee prices were.
They would,
they would just fluctuate. Even when you have hundreds and hundreds of bags in the store, you can fail to have school fees for your children.
And this is why, even as you spoke, honestly, Lovin, I thought to myself and said, and this is what they say, that normally these are get-rich schemes. There is this coming in, there is fish coming in, there is, not necessarily, quote-unquote, there is vanilla coming in, there is, coffee coming in, revamped. And yet you still have that particular story whereby the farmer is saying, we are stuck. We are stuck with this produce, whether it's fish, whether it's... What is happening? Yes.
They were really stuck, and I really had that compassion for the farmer because of my own family. I did not start with helping my father, but I helped the other farmer who was similar to my dad. So that was also one of the reasons as to why I was like, I think a farmer needs to move from production
to processing,
to mainly avoid risks and to also have more value for their money. So that stubbornness led me to move away from the industrialists to personally doing research and development myself. I had to resign from my job. I went to Uganda Industrial Research Institute because I was referred there while I was doing research. That was one of the areas where they told me, without capital, I only had $800 in my account. And that is what I used to start the research. And it got finished within 1 week.
So what happened? $800 is a lot of money in the Ugandan context.
$800 in 2012 was not...
It is not little money.
It was not little, but still it was still 2 million,
1 week.
I remember. Yes, because you have to buy the fish, you have to buy the ingredients, you have to buy the packaging materials. Remember, these are trials. So the products that you are making are not sellable. But fortunately for me, I have that... I don't fail. That is my that is my drive.
You do your best.
I do my best not to fail. So when I would make those products, I would call my friends that by force they have to buy these products. So I would tell them that I have made these beautiful fish sausages. Could you kindly try them out? Because I need you to give me feedback on whether they are good for you. Would you buy them? And that is how they would buy. They would buy.
And then give you feedback.
They would give me feedback. No, this one is hard. It's not the salt, it is smelly little. I even took some hotels and they would give me. So I got really lots of feedback.
Yes.
And I ran block.
Immediately.
After that, after a few weeks, I ran block because I did not have more money. But the last batch that I had, was, if I sell this one, I don't know what I will do next because the money was really going to get finished. And fortunately, I had Uganda Investment Authority had a workshop. So I was not invited in that workshop.
You get crushed. The things we do, women in business, the things we do.
I was not invited in that workshop because by that time, the former Maggie Kigozi, she was the executive director. I used to admire her. And I was like, I think if I got this workshop, I will have an opportunity to market, to talk and market my. For the first time, no one ever knew that I was making those, except the colleagues within my cycles. So, and so the Minister of Fishery, the Minister of Agriculture was going to be the guest
of honor.
Yes, at that event. And by luck, one of my friends told me, there is that workshop. Yeah. And I was like, I have to go for that.
Where was it?
It was here in Kampala in one of the hotels, maybe Serena, I don't know. Yes. So I went and I told the organizer that gentleman was an employee of Uganda Investment Authority. Yeah. And he was the one organizing. I told him that I wanted to come and donate fish sausages for breakfast. Yes. But then he was someone in an environment where supporting business was one of his, I think his instinct showed him that I really needed his help. And so he asked me questions, like, because he has to protect the people that are in that workshop. Yeah. Is the product safe for consumption? And I told him, yes. Where are you? Where is your factory? I told him, I'm doing these products from Uganda Industrial Research Institute. Yeah. And I want to give 10 kilos because I want to hear the feedback direct from the customers. And that was my beginning of entering the market in Uganda. Oh, yes. Because at that workshop, I was given 3 minutes
to talk
and introduce my product. My product was served as a main dish at breakfast for all the customers that attended that workshop. Because 10 kilos has 100 sausages in, because each kilo has 20 sausages. Yes. So the chef actually asked me, I joined the chef on cooking. Yes. And we were there, and they were served, they were cooked very well, and they really tasted very nice. Yes. And I had an opportunity to be with the press.
Wow.
Because the minister was there. It was like my launch.
That is just, you usurped.
Yes, it was the launch of my business.
You kidnapped. It wasn't even a launch. Don't even call it that. She literally kidnapped another activity.
Yes, unknowingly, I was that day, the feature on every TV in Uganda, every newspaper in Uganda. I was featured on the front page. I still have those newspapers. And that was the beginning of Kati Farm, as in trading, getting the calls. That day, all the sausages I had were sold off. I got a lot of opportunities from there. Yeah. I had never traveled to any country other than Uganda. But from that moment, I started getting invitations for travel to every country in the world. Yeah. To go and even compete. Yes. I got an award for the best innovator of that year. In Africa, I was the best innovator of 20 from the Agribusiness Award. I was awarded by UNDP and Rabobank Foundation. Yes. So from that time, the capital now comes in, because the award came with $15,000 US, and I never looked back, to say the least. That was the beginning of my business, the beginning of me, and I have never looked back. My business has been growing from stage to stage.
I think I'm so, you're used to this story because you have lived, this is your story. But listening and hearing about how you literally kidnapped another media, another activity. I have been talking about resilience for quite a while. I keep pushing women and men to be as resilient as possible, because I tell them the next break may be in your next action that you do. Just don't give up. Yeah. And this is just one such activity, such an action really that you took. Now imagine if you had said, you know what, I think this was a wrong move. I'm running out of money. This is my last batch. Yes, I've run out of money. I am a responsible person. I have responsibilities to do. I cannot just be broke. This is not working. For free. Yes. And then maybe you could have said, let me just leave and go back and get a job. Or you could have decided and said, you know what, let me just give them away. But that was such a smart move that catapulted you into your next growth.
Yes, I had an opportunity to capture the place attention. You know, place plays a very big role in promoting enterprises. But the challenge is that they are always very expensive to get or to pay to hire them to advertise. But here I got free publicity. Yes, of all the national televisions, national newspapers. And then I think that is where
it was divine.
It was divine intervention. It was also risk-taking.
It was risk-taking as well.
It was risk-taking.
Yes.
And I think taking risks as a business person are some of the things that you will always encounter.
There is someone who told me recently that, you know what, are the women working hard or they're working smart? You know? Mm-hmm. The mere fact you got an opportunity, just like every other person gets to hear of these opportunities here and there. Mm-hmm. But you decided, it was actually working smart because you decided to go through the chef and look at ways of promoting it from the side of the food.
Yeah.
Yes? Testing the food and maybe coming up to the second. So by the time and I think also the other part about it, even before we get into the food testing and the food, you know, the cuisine, is also the fact that you had already partnered with a reputable institution, URI.
Yes.
So obviously the safety, they knew there was not going to be any food poisoning. They knew this was a legit space and, you know.
It was a government facility.
So that also helped you. So it's very important that even as we get out into the product, you know, all this, the product formation and the development, that we always are aligned.
Yeah, we are aligned and we are formal.
Yes.
You have to be registered. You have to have an office. You must belong somewhere. You can't just produce in a hygienic environment.
Yes, unhygienic.
Because there are many places where people think they are not there, but people don't research.
Yeah.
They don't look out.
Yes.
I had to look out for where to start from without anything. Everything is there. The institute has the offices for you. It has the power paid, the water bills paid. So I think somehow it's an opportunity for young people. Yeah. It's a starting point. When you outgrow the institute, you can go and build your own, like I have done now. But before you have, please try.
Utilize.
Try those public places.
Yeah.
Make use of them. They can take you to, they even help you to market, like they can support you. When I won that award, the Agribusiness Award, I was, my air ticket and accommodation bills were paid by the institute. The Ministry of Trade, yes, they were paid. And no one knew me. I cannot really say that I was, maybe because I am from here or my father. My father was not a politician. He was not an educated man.
He was a farmer.
He was a farmer.
Yes.
So it was just because of me, my own initiatives, my own way of searching and trying to find what I think would work for me better than.
To me, even as we talk about the woman in business, to me, what comes out, what is so stuck, yes? What is so apparent even as you talk is that we should not, even as the woman comes out in business, she should be very conscious about her product. She should be very conscious about formalizing it, yes? Making sure that at least there's a legal business. Ensuring that even when she is doing the product development, she is actually at a reputable institution. Such an institute such as URI and all these other places are able to come up. Last time we had Madame Hilbert from Jacana in food processing, and who was also giving the same opportunity and saying, come and we help you. If you are into mixing different aromas and align yourself with a reputable institute. One, because most of the times when we are within the supermarkets and all these other places, I have seen quite a number of people, yes, potential customers, look at the back.
True.
They do look at the back by the one, the packaging. No matter how fancy, no matter how good your packaging is, they want to see where is it processed, where is it coming from. Just so that I don't get food poisoning, I don't get any other particular health concerns. So please, if at all it is endorsed by an established institute, an established institution, you have a better chance at getting a particular buyer rather than if you are coming from nowhere.
True.
Yes. How apart from kidnapping, which was quite a lovely, it's a beautiful fantasy story. It's a dream come true for you. From little known, from just on the brink of bankruptcy, of nothing, poverty, and then all of a sudden the next day you're all over the papers. Yes. Every party, then you're getting into awards. Were you prepared for that? Were you prepared for the next level of growth? Because immediately when it catapults you, you must be prepared. Were you prepared for that?
I was actually very prepared.
Yes.
That I was already having, I already had a bank. I make relationships. I think wherever I go, I am noticed.
Yeah.
And that is something that I really thank God for. Because I had my bank account. It was not with money, it was little money, but it was consistent.
Yes.
Whatever sales I made, I banked it, and I withdrew it again, and I banked and I withdrew. Oh. So the bankers already saw that I was honest with money. So when that incidence of newspapers came in,
yes,
I was overwhelmed with supplies. Like the people were calling me to supply sausages from that day. And I didn't have enough capital for purchasing fish. And this is now where trust helps you. I went to that bank and I was given 8 million shillings without collateral, without security, without anything. Yes. I got 8 million shillings, and all they did was to come and see my processing place and the products that I had. And the way I used to bank, they already saw me, they would say my name whenever I entered. Yeah. And that is trust. Secondly, the farmers themselves bailed me out. Yes. You can ask me how, and it is a funny thing for a farmer, because farmers have capital, they have the stock. So we had an MOU that you supply fish, you receive your payment after 3 weeks. Oh, yes. So I staggered the payments system in a way that I made sure in those 3 weeks I have already collected my payments back with, like the account has to keep receiving and getting out. Yes, getting out. So I want to inform my fellow women. And please look at them and stress. It is your money. Don't worry that if I bank it, you can go bank it this morning and withdraw it the next hour. Oh, yeah. So keep that relationship with a bank. You need the money, the trustworthiness. If they lend you, do you pay back? Yes. Because most people will say, if I borrow that 8 million, I'll just disappear and relocate to another village. But you will be blocking your opportunities. Yeah. You will relocate to that village, and the village will be too small for you, and you will regret why you did not pay. So when you borrow, if someone trusts you, pay. Even the farmers who trusted me with their stock, every 3 weeks their checks would be ready, and that is how Kati Farms was built, on people's trust, hard work, sweat capital. This is something that we built with our own hands, yeah, that is that. Then I was ready, because everything just came and found me prepared. I had everything. The company was registered. I had a bank account. I had a passport, you know. Yes. I was ready to go everywhere. I did not find that maybe because they called me to go to Zambia and my passport was nowhere. I had my passport. I don't know how it happened. No. And you see, these are things that we have to talk about. Yes. These are things that we have to talk about. If you are positioned, have positioned yourself to get to another level, when opportunity comes knocking at your door, it better find you prepared. It better find you prepared, because trust me, you're not the only person. It comes just like a whiff. It comes very quickly. Either you are prepared to grab it or you're not. If you're not, it will just pass you by. That's true. Because trust me, at that particular time, that was maybe an opportunity. That award had already been, the award function had already been prepared. If you didn't have the passport, did not even know where to start. For that award. Because you have to apply. There was a call for entrepreneurs to apply. I was nominated, and then I had to work on my business plan. Yeah. Well, if you get this $15,000, What are you going to use it for?
What are you going to use it for? And
Yes.
Lovin, we're going to come back. We're going to take a very short break and we will be right back. If you get that $15,000, what are you going to use it for? Let's take a short break and come back.